You heard the details of the plan. Is this the right plan for what we need right now?
What we really need is to get the vaccine out, as you highlighted, and to be sure, to the extent to which this plan is focusing on that, that's good news. You're seeing more and more states becoming more effective, so the quicker that can happen, that's really what's going to jumpstart this economy. Consumers already have $2 trillion in excess savings from the $900 billion passed back in December. $2 trillion. This will probably add more to that. What will be passed will probably be something for the consumers. High probability of that happening. 1.9 sounds a little large. Something closer to 1 sounds realistic, supporting the consumer. But consumers obviously can't spend that until the economy can open up. And so, as this vaccine is indeed put in place for more and more people, that's when you're really going to see the economy take off. You already have a pretty healthy economy, and you could see that in the employment report on Friday. To be sure, the travel and leisure industry collapsed in December, but if you took that out, you still had growth in manufacturing, construction, and retail, gains of over 300,000 for those particular sectors in December. So, yeah, this is going to further increase the odds that as the vaccine is indeed disseminated, you will see quite a large snapback in economic activity.
What do you think the odds are? I realize you're an economist, but you watch Washington pretty closely, too. What do you think the odds are of some of this stuff getting through? You just mentioned you think the vaccination parts are the most expensive. And I guess if you included vaccinations, testing, the additional PPE and supplies, and even the schools opening back up, you're still talking about something like $270 billion out of that price tag. That's the focus part you think needs to get through. If it were to get hung up on some of the other issues and that were to not get delivered as a result, what would the impact be?
Again, it really is COVID that's holding the economy back. And so it's really important that you do increase the effectiveness of the distribution of the vaccine. That's the only way you're going to get people back to schools, traveling, vacations, going to restaurants. So you really do need to get the vaccine more effectively distributed. As far as something getting through, odds are pretty high because, again, so many people are still out of job. Nearly 10 million people are still out of job. They do need incremental support. So something will be passed. Will it be down to the last minute, as we saw in December? Probably. That's politics. But again, something is likely to be passed from Washington, at least according to our team down in D.C.
The $15 minimum wage that's been put in this as well, I mean, that's something big companies can probably afford to jump in on. But what would it do to small businesses right now that are already suffering from the pandemic?
Yeah, you got to be careful in burdening, particularly smaller businesses right now, as is perfectly clear. They need extra help right now, and a $15 minimum wage obviously would be a tremendous headwind to them. Companies have been, I was reading up on this over the past several days, companies have been moving in that direction, companies that can afford to pay the $15 minimum wage. You have seen some of the larger companies move in that, restaurants, some of the fast food restaurants, some of the big retailers. And so you're moving in the right direction. I'm not sure now, though, is a time to put an added burden on small businesses that, to be sure, can't afford that right now.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.